Johnny Dumbbell was good, fam.
Man, I got to tell you, it's been a good week, a good weekend for the Buccos. They swept the New York Mets. We're actually beating the St. Louis Cardinals right now. It's a fun sports weekend and early week here in Pittsburgh. What's going on over there in Newton Falls?
Oh, man, everything is just lovely. I'm just so grateful for everything I got going on in my life. I got to spend some time with my kids today. We got 4th of July coming up. My brother was in over the weekend. You know, we all about family over here.
Hey, you got to be, man. These days, they're the best link to your past, the ones most likely to stick with you in the future, or at least they're supposed to be.
Johnny, speaking of our family, we're here for our nephews tonight. This is Ask Your Favorite Uncles.
That's right, nephews. Listen, we got a couple of good questions from some viewers. A lot of these are the kinds of things that I'm sure you guys are going through, things that I don't know about Bill here, but I know I went through. And we're going to be talking a little bit about what those are, what they mean, and what you can and should be doing about it. Bill, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and our podcast here, man?
All right, nephews, allow me to introduce myself. My name is William, and welcome to my channel. It's called William the Conqueror, where I can show you how to conquer the hearts and minds of women the world over, but only if you have the ability to first conquer yourself. Gentlemen, I'm referring to self-discipline. Get on that discipline, gentlemen. And if you're having problems with that, if you're struggling with that, reach out to myself, reach out to Johnny, and we'll get you on the right track.
Absolutely, dude. Yep.
Now, Johnny, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
So I am Johnny Dumbbell. I am a personal trainer and lifestyle coach out here in beautiful Pittsburgh, PA, where the weather has been hot, and so have the young ladies. I'm here actually not to share so much of my successes, because I haven't had nearly as much of those as my failures. But either way, I can describe them. I can tell you what to worry about or what to look out for, especially when it comes to things like self-respect, self-confidence, women and relationships, personal growth. And by that, I mean physical, mental, spiritual. I guess what I'm trying to say is that as your uncle that cares about you, you should know that if you're thinking about doing something and it sounds simp-like, stupid, reckless, or foolishly expensive, leave something in the comments. Shoot us a direct message. Talk to us first, because chances are one or both of us has done it and learned the hard way why you shouldn't do it. And hopefully you'll be here to listen to our reasoning. In short, we are the screw-up uncles. We are the screw-up uncles that you never wanted, but you can learn volumes from if you just listen.
That's right. Thank you, Johnny, for that. So we're here to answer your questions tonight, and you can ask us anything you need to, whether it's dating related, fitness related, if you're having questions about masculinity. Hell, if you need to know how to dress for a job interview, put it in the comments. We got you.
And listen, don't be embarrassed to ask things like that, man. In this day and age, I know that you're not getting the right kind of guidance. I know that you're not necessarily getting all the right answers from the internet. Sometimes you're not getting any answers from what should be the source of all information. So remember, we're here to tell you what we think. We're here to help you set some goals and then send you on your way, letting you know that our hopes and prayers are with you, and we're always going to be here when you have questions like that. Especially with the specific ones that we have tonight.
And that's the thing. We understand that you should continually have questions. And if you're trying to grow, if you're trying to be a better man, you should be coming back with more questions. You should be writing them down. You should be asking them. And here's what you don't realize: by you reaching out to us and asking us your questions, you are helping other men. Because I can guarantee there are other people that are struggling with the same things that you are. And by asking these questions, other people get the benefits of our answers as well.
And if you think about it, if you're asking the questions that other young men your age are afraid to ask, you're technically leading the way. That's the first step toward leadership. You're not only admitting that you don't know, you're admitting that you seek the knowledge, and you're willing to lead the way to that knowledge with the young men that maybe weren't as brave to ask that kind of question as you are. They'll follow you now.
And that's the thing. You got to be willing to admit that you may be the problem. So accountability. We're all about accountability over here. And gentlemen, while I'm at it, we are your uncles, but you got to understand that this is a tough love channel. And the advice that we have for you, the advisement that we have for you might not want to be something that you want to hear, but it might be something that you need to hear, nephew. So ask your questions. All right, Johnny, what do you got for us tonight?
So we got 3, possibly 4 questions if we have time for it. I think we can get. I feel like we can get all 4 in.
Man,
the first one.
Man, I appreciate these young men asking their questions. That's what we're here for.
So the first one,
we got our call-in number. If any of you guys see this that live and you want to call in with your questions, we got you. We're here for that too.
Yep. Our first one's from Zane. He's 27, and he says, "I ended things with my girlfriend after she started talking about marriage." All right. So I'm 27 and been with my now ex for 2.5 years. Early on, I talked pretty openly about how screwed up I think marriage can be. All right. My parents had a nasty divorce when I was 8 and saw what it did to them. And when I was 15, my brother went through a brutal divorce and custody battle that left him borderline, where you want to do things to yourself you shouldn't do.
Ooh.
After this, I vowed to never get married. My stance was always pretty clear on it, and she never pushed back on any of that, and we seemed on the same page. We were happy with a solid connection. However, about a month ago, she started talking about how it's crazy that her friends are getting married now and wondering how our life would look in 5 years. I knew what she was implying, and with that, and tried pivoting her away from it by saying that marriage isn't the end-all, be-all. Like there are enough unmarried couples who are committed to each other. But last week, her dad pulled me aside after a family dinner and said I needed to step up if I was serious. I just nodded along because I didn't want to talk about it. I felt this subtle pressure closing in, like they were kind of conspiring against me. 2 days ago, she brought it up directly. She said that she loved me, but needed to know that we were headed somewhere long-term and stable. She asked if I saw us getting married one day. This hit me like a freight train, like my chest locked up. All those memories of what marriage did to my family came rushing in. I told her I couldn't give her what she wants. Straight up ended it there. She was stunned and crying, saying that I blindsided her. Since then, she has been texting me saying she didn't mean to pressure me and just wanted to talk about it, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like this can be salvaged. No, and I mean, here's the thing. Just like you can't unthrow the rock that broke somebody's window, you can't really unsay what is being said in a very powerful and important conversation like this. Now, I know a lot of viewers out there, a lot of you folks watching this are going to say, well, he needs to go to therapy and get past his fear of marriage. Why? Why? It's not a fear of marriage. It's an aversion to it. He's seen some things that are involved in that sort of an institution, and he wants no part of it. So while I think maybe going to therapy might help him come to grips with why he feels that way, I don't think that that's going to be the answer to making him want to actually make a commitment that he is frankly not in a state of mind to make. And he may never be. Now, I'll be honest with you, Zane. I think that the only thing you're doing wrong is prolonging the inevitable. This girl wants that ring. She wants that, situation to be a real situation. She's backpedaling now because she realizes that she may be squishing you a little bit too hard and you're kind of rushing out of her hand like sand when you squeeze it in your fist, which is exactly what she was kind of doing. Okay. So I do understand your aversion to it, and I also believe that it's just fine that you don't want to get married. What I don't think is okay is the fact that you're kind of seems to kind of be dancing around the topic a little bit, Bill. What do you think?
Johnny, Johnny, you're the one that has experience being married here, not me.
Oh yeah.
But I can tell you that I have experience in setting boundaries that we're not doing that right from the very beginning. And if that woman wants to be a part of my life, she's going to follow my program and respect my boundaries. And if marriage is not in the cards, I'm not going to be pressured into it. And you try going getting your dad to pull me aside and have a little talk with me, and that's going to go south, because now I got to check Pops too and make sure he's on the same page too. And
well, and even if you don't,
now your dad's got to follow my program too, because you wouldn't respect my boundaries, that I set forth in the beginning. So
yeah, but even if you don't have to say anything to dad, it's like, dude, this is a situation where now you're not getting what you're wanting, so you're bringing in reinforcements. This is exactly what's happening too, and the fact that she's this quick to be apologetic and this profuse with that, is if the last couple of sentences of this are accurate, shows that she was intending to put the pressure on, but it just didn't have the intended effect. So now the reason she's backpedaling is because she was like, damn, I shot my shot, and not only did it not hit the target, this went badly. Or it's on its way to going badly. Now, here's the thing, Zane. You are not responsible for that. You are responsible for setting your own boundaries. And listen, I don't care what anybody tells you. Maybe you should go to therapy. Listen, I do. It's great. But don't go to therapy just because you want them to somehow convince you that it's okay to get married. Don't go to therapy because you just need somebody to fix you so that you think the way you think you're supposed to think, or she thinks you're supposed to think. Go to therapy because you want to make yourself better. Go to therapy because you want to hold yourself accountable for your part in this relationship, or this landslide one, so to speak. Okay, now I see that you're exes, I see that you're broken up, and honestly, I think she's probably a wonderful person. You guys have probably had a great time together, but you want very different things in the long term. And there's nothing wrong with what she wants, and there's nothing wrong with what you want. But those two things are not the same. And if you continue to try to force one or the other to see your point of view, not only are you going to be wasting your time and hers, but you're also going to be wasting an awful lot of energy, because the arguments are not going to stop. And that's natural. You got to cut it.
Well, Johnny, what do we always talk about here? Compatibility with women. If you don't want to get married and she does, wouldn't you say that's a pretty good sign that the two of you are not compatible?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But see, here's the hard thing, because nowadays when a couple breaks up, we have to go ahead and assume, okay, who cheated, who screwed up, who was abusive, who was the schmuck. But in this situation, really, I don't think either one of them's a schmuck. I think she's kind of a schmuck for bringing her family into it. But the point of the matter is that she's not wrong for wanting to be a wife, and he's not wrong for not wanting to be a husband. The two of them are wrong for trying to stay together in a situation that is not going to be satisfying for either one of them eventually.
Well said, Johnny. Zane, my man, nephew, there's other women out there. And this is what we talk about when we talk about your program. So this is something that you should be mentioning to women fairly early. I wouldn't say first date, but definitely by like the third date, you should be letting them know that marriage is not something in the cards for you. That's not something you're looking for, that you've had some horrible experiences with it. And Johnny, let's be honest here. What kind of benefits are there for men to get married nowadays anyway? It's a lot.
I tell people nowadays, I tell people nowadays that a proposal to me, in my mind, sounds like, hey, I'll bet you half of everything that I've ever worked for, or half of everything that I still have left, that you and I will be together forever and we'll never break up, no matter whose fault it would be. I'm not taking that bet.
Okay, so the way I run things with my program is, as a man, I feel like it's our responsibility to leave a woman better off when our time with her is over than when she was when she came into our life.
Yep.
Okay, that's just one of the responsibilities that I have as a man. I'm gonna give these women a game. They're gonna just be better off for life once our time, because this is what you guys don't understand. There are invisible clocks on your foreheads. You never know how much time you're going to have with a woman. It could be 3 weeks, it could be 3 months, it could be 3 years. Now, Zane, I would say at this point, that clock with you and that woman has expired, and it's time for you to move on, nephew. But you can find other women who you're more compatible with, who aren't going to get their family involved to pressure you, and you'll be happier for it. Now, as you should always be conducting yourself as a man. You shouldn't be doing dishonorable things, disrespectful things. So you should be able to respectfully end things with that woman, and there not be any awkwardness going forward. It's okay to end things because you're not compatible, and have a mutual respect for each other afterwards. Everything don't have to be a bad breakup.
Yeah, the old saying goes, if you get married and you don't truly want to, there's actually 3 rings: the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffer ring. Don't do it, man. Don't do it, brother. I've been screwing around with the soundboard for a long time today, and I've been having fun with it. Sorry, guys.
Hey, man, I got so much going on. I wish I had time to put all new sounds on my roadcaster.
Oh, I've had this for like 2 months now. It's the first time I've been able to mess with it.
Well, I have a lot of responsibilities, Johnny. There's a lot of demands on my time, but I make sure that you and I get together every week to bring this to these young men and answer their questions for them.
Hey, we got to have time for our nephews, brother. You know?
All right. So one final piece of advice for Zane. I mean, don't try to fix it. Like, you guys aren't compatible. You may love this woman. You may care for her. She may have been a great asset to your life, but what she wants and what you want ultimately are 2 different things. So out of the respect that you have for her, you should end this and let her go find that person that wants to marry her.
Yep. Absolutely, man. All right. So let's see. What do we got here? We got Sean. Let's see. Sean says, oh, I don't understand this. It says the subject line says she already reached out. So we were together for 8 months, and I saw the breakup coming because she kept saying she can't do it. There's some trauma behind. She was avoidant to some degree in the end, and I, as an anxious attacher, I like that he admits that, did my best and even gave some space. Couldn't handle the cold attitude, always trying to love bomb her. Pretty much everything that Uncle Bill and Uncle Johnny tell me not to do. All right. All right. Hey, look, he admits it. He admits it. In the end, she broke up with me. We ended things on good terms. I was still in pain because I was giving all of myself, but she gave up. It's been almost 2 weeks. We went no contact 2 days ago and let her know. I removed her from all social media, okay, and totally focusing on myself. Hey, you know, sometimes you got to shut everybody out. She messaged me casually 2 hours ago. What are you up to? I'm guessing 2 hours before he sent this, which I got to say, I'm kind of excited to get this kind of real time.
Yeah, well, you know, shout out to him for that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so she says, what are you up to? He says, anxiety hit me and I didn't know what to do. I called a friend of mine and talked and basically grounded myself. All right. I kept the conversation civil, polite, and neutral, so it didn't lead anywhere and was quite short. I'm going to tell you in a minute why that was a pretty good idea. I'm not sure what it was, but my guess, attempt for a booty call? Yeah, I want to get some too, but I can't do it. I respect myself and want to be chosen fully, not like this. I pulled it off, and I'm really proud of myself. I'm not showing up anymore whenever she wants me to. He's going to say, F that fecal matter. We got to be careful, guys. It's YouTube. They only let us swear so many times per episode. He says, I loved her deeply, but now I don't know. This is messed up, and she is messed up. Okay, so here's the thing. What you did was the right thing, but right now you're questioning yourself, is what it sounds like to me. You did exactly, well, maybe not exactly, but you did mostly what I would have told you to do. And I know it doesn't feel right. Bill knows it doesn't feel right. The first times we had to do that kind of thing, it didn't feel right. But you have pretty much given the cold shoulder to her, which is going to make one of two things happen. She's either going to go away, which is the best thing for you, or she's going to try even harder, at which point you're going to have to make a decision. Is this a booty call, or is this a, nah, I better not touch it? Now, Bill and I have been very clear. Your Uncle Bill and I have been very clear. I got to remember, we are your uncles and we care about you. So we have been very clear about why you don't recycle exes. Bill, tell him.
Wow. Where do we start with that? Okay. There's a lot here to unpack. And the no contact thing. First of all, if he's really going no contact with her, which I don't recommend. I know you do, Johnny, and I understand why, because some of these guys are so attached to these women, their entire nervous system is wired to that woman. And the only way to move forward is to completely block her out, block her off. I understand. I may think they're weak for doing that, but I understand why they have to do it. Now, here's another thing I need you to consider. What if she just wanted some D and wasn't trying to catch another body? Yeah. So you might have dropped the ball there, dog. You should have went and made her eat some pillow and
the only problem I have with that
situations, and shout out to Boss Mac, that D is a gift. Okay. And if she didn't earn it, you shouldn't be giving it to her. And I've done that before too, where I went to see a woman and ended up in her bedroom and had to tell her that's not what I came over here for.
Well, and don't forget that she's also trying to gauge your response. She not only wants to see how easy it is for her to get you over there, but she wants to see how eager you are to get there, because then she can gauge, number one, can I get him to do what I want him to do? Number two, how strong is his desire to make me happy? Because I want to see if I've really got this guy in my back pocket, or if he's somebody I might have to chase in order to, the point is she wants to try to put you in that category in her life, because let's not forget, girls like this tend to have a few guys in that phone book that are in their own different categories. There's the guy that's in the free dinner folder. You might be in the free booty call folder. I'm not sure where that is because I don't see a whole lot of details on your relationship. But the point of the matter is, this girl may be trying to see if she can get what she wants from you when she wants it.
What is wrong with women having a roster, Johnny?
I never said there was. I'm just saying if that's not what he's looking for, I would avoid it. Now, if he, like I said, if he just wants to be that dude, hey, go for it. But I'm telling you right now, don't recycle this relationship. If you're going to have fun with it, have fun with it. But like Bill said, make sure that that's where that boundary is set. And that's where you've got to be a man and stand up and say, listen, we can do this. We can do ABC. But if you're looking for XYZ, I'm not your guy. You had that shot.
Now, Johnny, you got me there, because you're right. We do not recycle women. If it didn't work out with her, there is a reason for it, because we are not led by our libido. We are led by our standards and principles. So if it didn't work out the first time, it's not going to work out the second time. There's really no reason to spin the block. That being said, things don't always end disrespectfully. If things end amicably, and it is just for casual encounter, you can put that candle in the window. Shout out to Steve the Dean Williams at themanmindset.com. Put that candle in the window and let her find her way back to you one day.
But you're going to have to remember one thing, Sean. I know how young you are, and I remember being that age, and I remember having the big head and the little head, and it feels like I only had enough blood to run one of them at a time. So here's the thing. If you can keep your head about you and you can use your brain and you can make sure that you're, not only vetting her, but the situation itself, then I would say go for it. I'm saying, though, that it sounds to me like you're excited about this being the first time you were ever able to rebuff somebody trying to force her way back into your situation. I would ride that wave. I would ride that little bit of a power trip that you've just given yourself, because it sounds to me like it's the first time you're ever able to resist the wily charms of a woman who once loved you and left you. You finally said, no, you wanted this. You get that. So if that's how you feel and you say the hell with it, that's great. Say the hell with it. And I, even if you are going to make an FWB situation, because YouTube doesn't like when I say stuff, even if you just want the FWB situation, I would say let that be somewhere down the road. I wouldn't do it right away. Not while there's still a potential for feelings from her to you. You shouldn't have any feelings. She walked away. You did what you could. If she's still got feelings coming from her to you, I would say don't let her catch those feelings, because she is going to try to get you to catch those feelings. If there is going to be that situation, let time heal, let things go by, let those feelings not be there anymore. And if that's still something that the two of you can really agree maturely as adults to say, hey, we're not looking to, like Bill said, we're not looking to add another body to our account. We're not looking to hook up with some stranger, but let's just leave that what it is. And the both of you can handle it without catching feelings. Hey, great. But let's face it, we might not know what the exact statistics are, but I can tell you that I can count on one hand in the 30 years of dating experience I have, how many times that's actually worked out positively.
I don't know, Johnny. We just have different experiences, I guess. Now, my biggest problem.
Don't get me wrong; they're all fun experiences.
I don't see this young man setting boundaries, dictating terms, anything. I see him going with the flow of what she wants to do.
Which is why he is not ready to do the hookup only thing with her. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not ready for that. That's the kind of game you and I do. That's not something he's ready for. He's too young for that. And he might still be looking to start a family. And if there's always that potential for you to do that in the future, then focus on that, man. First of all, focus on making yourself the best possible family man and provider you could possibly be. But then go ahead and focus on that. But in this situation, no, you're already. I'm glad that you're excited about it, but you've already put too much energy into something. You saw how it ended up. But you were proud of yourself for being able to rebuff her advances and her resurgence, I guess I would call it. And I'm glad that you could ride that wave. I want you to keep that positivity, but I want you to make sure you move forward. And she is not forward. She's behind you.
Well said, Johnny.
All right.
What else we got tonight?
So, let's see here. I was going to make this our main event question, but I just got one today, this afternoon. I know that I told you we were going to do 3 a couple of days ago, but I got this one this afternoon that I think is really going to be the main event thing, because it really focuses on the main facets of what we try to teach our nephews here on the show, Uncle Bill. But here's the thing. Excuse me.
10 questions, Johnny. I just want to help these young guys do better.
Well, so we've got Andrew here. Now, this is the one that I put in the description, but this is not going to be our main event question. But he says, I have a question for the ladies. Now, we don't really expect ladies to answer this, but I would love to see your comments, because I know Angel is going to have something to say about this one if she's watching. I really hope to see her response on this one. Jen, if you're out there, I'd like to hear what you have to say here too. But anyway, Bill, I'm sorry, I read this one ahead. I didn't mean to. But he says, I keep reading about how both men and women, especially and he puts in quotes, unattractive ones, have trouble matching with anyone on the dating apps. But I'm curious, is it that you ladies don't get any matches at all? Or is it that you don't get matches that fit your overall criteria? Bill, hold on. I see you twitching. Stop. You read it everywhere on social media and media in general that women aren't being approached by men, but is it men in general, or you only count men that you want to approach you? That's a good question, to be fair. No offense intended. Genuine scientific curiosity. Please be honest. Thank you for your time. And if I don't get any ladies' answers in the comments, Uncle Bill and Uncle Johnny, what do you think?
I think that you're trying to come up with a scientific method as to why you're not attractive to women.
Yeah, and you know something? As a man, there's nothing wrong with having a logical approach to things, because that's generally how we approach most issues in our lives. But we've got to remember that this is not one of those things that follows a scientific method. You're absolutely correct.
Okay, yeah. So you can't explain sexual attraction. And you also... women have their each and every woman is different. They all have their own personal preference. What one woman will look at and be like, girl, he can get it. Another woman would be like, nah. So, first of all, I think you think that every woman I know, even the ones that I don't find attractive personally, have DMs full of guys that they're not attracted to. And Johnny, I say this all the time, that women get their pick of the guys they're not attracted to. Okay?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
and
I'm never worried about who's in her DMs, who's trying to smash her. They're not me. I don't look, and I almost got into this a few minutes ago when we were talking about briefly about women having a roster. I don't mind some competition. I don't think women are sitting around in an ivory tower knitting when they meet me. I think they've been out in the world where guys are trying to smash them, trying to ask them for their number, trying to take them out to expensive restaurants, trying to play 20 questions with them while they're out on a date. And when they meet somebody like me, it is a breath of fresh air to them. So I'm not worried about competition because these guys can't compete with me. So,
well, see, I mean, I'm kind of the other way around to a certain extent, because my thing is, if she hasn't competed with anybody to get with me, she would have never gotten a date to get with me. I'm the one who does the choosing. So if I'm the one doing the choosing, she must be the one doing the competing. And I'm okay with that. That's kind of the way it's been. And that's where when you compete at a very high level, that's when you have won and earned my commitment. There's a young lady out there that has that right now because she was dominant above anybody else in what they had to offer. And I saw that and I chose that. So, for me, I didn't compete to get her. She competed, and I got to say, she won handily.
Hey, Johnny, for a while we were talking about the women I approached throughout the week and how some of my approaches went. And I got to tell you, I was talking to a woman this week, and, I was getting ready to find out if there was anybody in her life that had a problem if I gave her my number. She looks at me, she's like, so you going to give me your number or what? I just love women like that, man. They're just on it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess
beat around the bush type of guy. Like, I'm talking like she was so into me that like she was making sure that's why I came over.
Yeah. My response to Andrew here would be, I don't think that it's that they don't get any matches at all, because like Bill said, on a dating site, 80% of the women are going to get responses. But the thing of it is, 80% of the women are looking for the top 20% of men in their eyes. So I know how it can kind of sort of feel that way. And the thing of it is that I'm not saying that now you need to look at those top 20% of men and just do what they do. No, that's not what you do. You take a look at that and you see why what they're doing is right. And then you apply it to your life and your own style and your own method of doing things, because you might not be a gym guy like me. You might not be the kind of guy that can climb a friggin' cell phone tower like Bill. Okay, the thing of it is, you are whoever you are, and you're good at what you're good at. And don't friggin' tell me that you're not good at anything, because I don't believe that. What you need to do, and I don't care who you are, accentuate what you love about what you're good at. Now, even if all that is video games, for crying out, I mean, look on YouTube. There are, video game playing influencers everywhere. If you think you're among the top guys, get out there and do that. Be the best you can be. If you got a full-time job and you work overtime, do what Bill does. Sleep when you can. Put that work in. And for the love of God, try to find the career that you're passionate about. Because I swear to God, once you do, you will never work a day in your life. I feel like I haven't worked in 10 years. You owe that to yourself to live that kind of life, guys. Come on now.
Yeah. Okay. So, nephew, here's my little piece of advice to you. Stop worrying about what women do. That is something that women do. They worry about what other women do.
You're on this team. You do what we do.
You need to worry about yourself. You need to focus on yourself and take the steps that you need to take to become a better version of yourself. Because let me tell you something. You get to a certain level of experience with women, and the why no longer matters.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I can tell that you have no game. You're still asking the why.
Here's
Go ahead, Johnny. Take it.
Here's some great advice, nephew. Live the kind of life that you would be happy living by yourself. Because if you do, you probably won't. If you pick the kind of life that you can live alone and say, I'm happy with the way things are, now you have developed a program. Now you have developed something that works for you. And if there's a woman that comes along that can be by your side, do those things, or be that too. There's Jen, or be there for you in that endeavor. Hey, that's great. Make sure she fits that program. Don't give it up.
Okay, Jen, let's talk about this for a second. She says, as someone currently
Not
dating,
read that.
I've had many men hit me up, but first, if I'm not attracted to them, it's a pass. Next would be getting to know them. So if there's any red flags, I move on.
That's fair, except in my experience, I've seen more women run toward the red flags than away from them. So, I mean, and that's a totally other topic for a totally different episode. But I think that there is definitely some. But I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I definitely agree with you. But I definitely think that the level of attraction is probably going to supersede a lot of those red flags, as you see, especially with younger women and maybe yourself. But I mean, that's one of the things that I've noticed. You tend to run towards those red flags, and we guys, we kind of try to run away from them. And that seems to be the biggest difference when it comes to dating, whether online or in person. But yeah, no, I mean, the attraction is going to have to be number one. That's the foot in the door. But depending on the level of attraction, that could be a pretty damn big foot in the door. It depends on what it is. And you know what they say about guys with big feet.
Jen, I got to call out something here. I would just like a little further explanation. Say, okay, you say next would be getting to know them. Now, it's been my experience typically that women don't need to get to know a man they are sexually attracted to. So you're saying that you will still go through that process of getting to know him?
Yeah.
Because that getting to know him, that's where a lot of guys get eliminated from.
Yep.
That's where they foul out. That's where, Johnny, I know if I start saying what I want to, you're going to start saying algorithm, but
okay, first of all, I don't think I sound like that.
No, you don't. Absolutely not. And I love it when you check me about the algorithm because I forget about it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When I get on one. And I appreciate that because we are trying to put something out there that YouTube will promote to help us.
Yeah, because for the God forbid we say the F word a couple times.
At any rate, so
no saying fire truck
would first be, it's been my experience that women don't need to get to know somebody they're sexually attracted to. So you're saying that that's not the case for you, correct?
Stop the cap.
All right. So
yours is louder than mine. I had to.
Hey, we appreciate you being a part of the show and commenting. It's all love here.
It is. I think though that, I mean, but you make a very, very good point. Like Bill said, and like I've said several times, women put rules on themselves and or their dates when they're not that attracted to them. She's only going to be a good girl tonight and be dropped off at 8 if she's not attracted to the guy. I mean, the thing of it is that once that attraction happens, once that biological attraction happens, and listen, we've all been there, we forget a lot of things, including what time it is. Including how much time we've already spent together on this particular date. If that chemistry's there, that chemistry's there. You got a reaction.
All right. Jen says right, unless it's just a hookup. So what determines if it's just a hookup?
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be that's a subjective, yeah.
Okay, because like if we're talking friends with benefits and it's like you guys hook up and then the next time you hear from her is when it's time to hook up again.
Yeah.
But
or hey, guys deal with it, except it's called a foodie call.
I don't even know what that is, dog. A foodie call
So,
is when women come over and cook for me in my t-shirts.
And those are great foodie calls. And they usually turn into booty calls. And that's a good time. We can say booty call on YouTube, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know the rules of the internet anymore. I don't know. I'm going to go to internet. I'm going to internet prison someday, probably. Who knows?
I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just some guy with a YouTube channel who wants to help young men based off the experience he has with women.
So anyway, getting back to Andrew, I would say, Andrew, I think that you have the right idea going with the scientific approach, and I think you should continue using logic to make your decisions. But at the same time, I don't think that you should be looking at dating and relationships as some sort of chemical equation that you can solve as easily as you could using the periodic table. As much as I think a scientific approach to love and romance would make things way easier for really intelligent guys like you and men in general, to be honest, unfortunately, that's not how it works. The phrase all is fair in love and war exists for a reason. War could involve nuclear weapons. Love could involve a betrayal even greater than the destruction of humankind, if you think about it. So, with that in mind, I want you to understand that while there is a chemistry to things, while there is a biology to the whole dating and love and romance thing and the sexual attraction and whatever else is involved, understand that despite all of those scientific things that are involved, the scientific method is still going to F your mind when it comes to trying to understand things from that perspective. What you're going to have to do is learn to read a room. You're going to have to learn to vet people in general and women specifically based on their personalities. You're going to have to get out there and talk to people. You're going to have to make sure that you mingle at the bar, at the grocery store, at the gym, wherever you go. And by that, I just mean have basic conversations. But remember that romance and science, they don't go together.
All right, Jen says it depends on the conversation you have beforehand. I have some that will put it out there that they are only interested in sex. Others will say they are looking for more.
I feel like that's good though, because at least they're letting you know to either spend your time or waste it. I think that if you were looking for a commitment and a guy comes right out there and says, "Yeah, I'm just kind of looking for a piece," I mean, okay, it's kind of crappy that you guys aren't looking for the same thing, but he's not wasting days, months, weeks of your days, weeks, and months of your life.
Yeah,
He's getting it out there, and okay, you wasted a trip to the bar to have a drink with him.
What I don't like about this, when they come out and say they're only interested in sex, I feel like they're putting a judgment on the woman that she's a bit of a floor and she's only good for one thing.
Now, well, see, and that's why you should be making sure that that's kind of the situation before you meet in person.
I like
if you're on a dating site, that's what you should be letting in, that there are categories for it. What are you looking for? Casual relationship, or are you looking for a commitment? That's where that has to be honestly answered. So it's either a poorly filled out dating profile or somebody's going in there with ulterior motives.
Well, she's saying communication is key, and
sure.
Absolutely,
it sure is.
If that's what you're looking for too, and they're receptive to it, that's fine. I would have a bigger problem with people who saying that they're looking for more, and they're not, because now you're being disingenuous. Now I'm going to start wondering what else you're being disingenuous about. So,
yeah.
All right. So anyway, to answer our question for our nephew here, thank you, Jen, for helping out.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Jen. Love you.
Women get offers for dates, offers for sex. They get offers for all kinds of stuff, nephew, and you're never going to know about it because women don't put their business out there like that. They don't put business on the streets. Guys do that. They'll try to brag on their D. Oh, I'm smashing this one. I knocked this one off. Women aren't like that. They're very private and personal about stuff like that.
We hit 35 and we stopped talking about it, though. Did you ever notice? Did you notice that? Nephews, I'm telling you, your 30s are going to be fantastic. I can't speak for Bill, but I got to tell you, if you are dreading turning 30, and I'm going to say this, young men, if you're 27, 28 years old and you're going, hey, you want to turn 30. No. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You want to go through all 10 years of your 30s, and I swear, when you're 39, about to turn 40, you're going to wish you could do those 30s all over again for another 10 years. They were the most fun 10 years of my life, and I think you're really going to love them. So do not dread them. It's going to be a lot more fun. You get to be every bit as stupid as you were in your 20s, but not as stupid because you already learned that lesson the hard way. And if you didn't, well, that's what we're here for.
I think I spent more time incarcerated in my 20s than in my 30s.
You sure did.
But I was still incarcerated in my 30s, and I needed that. Honestly, I needed that isolation. Shout out to Kevin Gates. Isolation equals elevation.
So we got Leo here.
What's up, nephew? How you doing tonight, Leo? What you
Le-
got for us?
Leo says, first of all, just wanted to thank Uncle Bill and Uncle John for all the great advice you've given me over the last several weeks and months. I have applied a couple of your principles, including the hashtag her debit card works too. But I am still angry with Uncle Johnny Dumbbell for that terrible 6-minute oblique workout. Come on, Leo. You can handle it every other day for 3 weeks. I'm telling you.
Oh, I do those workouts too, and they're not that bad. They're really not.
I love you, Leo. Don't make me slap you. Anyway, so we voiced I met this girl on Hinge. Leo's 36, by the way. I met this girl on Hinge who was also 36 about 2 weeks ago. We voiced, I'm guessing that means 3 weeks ago now. We voice noted, I guess that means messaged and talked up to our date. Oh, we voice messaged and talked up to our date every day. The grammar's not great here.
Okay. I feel like that could go one or two ways. Like we were talking about with Jen earlier about getting to know someone. You're pretty much talking yourself out of your date by communicating with her every day. I'm going to limit communication. Okay, so here's the thing. For you novices, you guys need to limit communication throughout the week and have it more on the date. For somebody like me or Johnny, we're not even getting to the date. By like the second or third day of texting, this one is going to be like, hey, can you come over here? Because if we went on a date, this woman would be looking at me like, hey, can we get out of here? So
Billy just smashed the entire first paragraph of this message.
I don't even get to the date, homie.
But anyway, went out last week and then kept talking for another day. She didn't open up my voice message response for 2 days. I sent a brief wishing her good vibes text after 2 days, and she responded immediately and said she didn't see the voice message and hopes everything is good with me. I responded, no worries. I know on the date you said you need time to yourself sometimes, and I'm here for that. He's quoting this. This must be exactly what he said. I then asked if she had any weekend plans. She hearted the message and no response. Can you imagine that, Bill? Anyway, considering she had left my voice note unread and then didn't answer my question over the last 2 text exchanges, I'm not going to chase and make sure she meets me halfway anymore. However, my question is, she knows the ball is in her court, right? Like, we both aren't sitting here waiting for the other person to text, are we? For context, she has anxiety and trust issues and trauma from her past, so I'm trying to give her space to see if she can manage her stuff and still date in a healthy way. I don't know where she, hold on. I don't know where she is in her healing journey. She also just might not be into it. Who knows? Now, here's the thing. It sounds to me like Leo I'm going to go ahead and say it. The tone of this message tells me, Uncle Bill, that Leo here, he knows what's happening, but he doesn't want to know what's happening. He kind of knows what she's doing, but he's really, really hoping and praying he's wrong. Do you get that?
Bruh. All right, Jen. Hey, Jen called it out. She's not interested anymore.
Boom.
And what do we say? No response is a response. Nephew, look, it even happens to me sometimes. I'll message a woman, I don't hear back from her. It's her loss. She's the one who just missed out on an opportunity.
But his mistake was continuing to follow up.
Right.
So he's double texting her. It looks like he double texted. It looks like he might have done it twice, right? Didn't open the voice note, so another brief message, and then she responded. So yeah, I mean, he double texts her, and the thing of it is that Bill teaches the voice message, right? So here's the thing. Why now, Bill? I'm just going to ask you this: why do you teach the voice message?
Few different reasons. Okay, a lot of guys don't do it. First of all, I can't even tell you how many times, especially
it's a rarity.
When I match with a woman on Bumble and I start doing it on Bumble, they're like blown away. They're like, oh, I didn't even know Bumble can do this. Or when women, okay, so here's why I like to do it. because I'm very playful and flirtatious whenever I communicate with women, and they get to hit that button and listen to that message over and over and over again. And nephews, I have worked on myself. I'm telling you, I have suffered for these results, and I'm like a drug to women. Okay. They just whenever they get some of me, they want some more of me. They need some more of me. So when they're getting that little playful message and they're playing it over and over and over, they're just exposing themselves to the drug of me, and then they need more. So
So here's my point in asking Bill this.
as a way to draw them in, to excite them, to intrigue them, to get them looking forward to more communication.
And so here's the thing. The reason I asked Bill this is because I wanted him to describe the kind of intrigue that the voice message should be creating. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it, and our friend Andrew wouldn't do it. And so here's the thing. I'm sorry. Our friend Leo wouldn't do it. Andrew was the last guy.
Leo's
here's the
not
thing.
doing it right.
So if you're leaving the voice message, well, I mean, let's assume that he was. Even if he was doing it right, you let the voice message. She saw it, didn't say a thing for 2 days. If you put your best into that voice message, if you gave the good old Uncle Bill voice message challenge and you passed it, you succeeded, I'm going to assume that you got 100% based on Uncle Bill's ratings on how you should leave a voice message. You could have done it perfectly. But what do you think 2 days with no response is? What do you think no response at all is? You got your answer, Leo. And there's nothing wrong with moving on.
Yeah, sometimes, and it's like what we had with the first question tonight. Sometimes you guys just aren't compatible. Sometimes you fumble it. Sometimes she's into you and you take her from being like medium or high interest to low interest to being completely turned off with your actions, behaviors, ideologies. Some of y'all actually talk politics and religion with women.
Oh, you don't do that.
Blows my mind. I don't. So, nephews, what I typically do is, because you got to understand, women don't like to be interviewed on dates. So I don't even really ask women questions. Whenever I'm out with a woman, I'm going to talk about me. I'm going to talk about what I got going on. And
but see,
they're really good with keeping up with the conversation. They're going to share things freely of their own volition of their lives that I never had to ask them about. And because I got this mat game, I'm going to remember the stuff they tell me, and I'm going to use that down the road. Like when I'm planning dates or something, Johnny, don't let me find out what her favorite little snack is, her favorite little thing to drink. No, yeah, I have some of that with me in the car. Believe that.
Well, and I mean, nephews, as you're learning these things, your part of the interview is this. It's not asking your question, just like Bill said. Just like Uncle Bill said, when you're describing these things, when you're talking to her, you're giving her that whatever information, you're reading her body language. That's the information you're gathering. You're seeing her response when you crack a joke, or maybe you're seeing how she reacts when you talk about a certain thing, but the thing of it is that you're going to have to look at the nonverbal side of things, because like we've told you many, 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 many times, she can say anything she wants. So can you, but her actions are going to tell you the truth. Her body language is going to tell you what her level of interest is. Does she expose her neck as she leans in, or is she looking at you like this? That is going to be the big difference, among other things.
Indicators of interest. Now, let me tell you guys something. Johnny Dumbbell here was talking about indicators of interest in 2008 before anybody in the red pill community ever came up with the word choosing signals. Now, I don't like choosing signals. I'm not waiting for I don't know, permission to approach. Look, I'm going to do what I want to do regardless. And she's either with it or she's not. She either wants to have a conversation with me or she doesn't. She either wants to take my phone number or she doesn't. She either wants to go out on this date with me or she doesn't. So I'm not waiting for some kind of choosing signal. I'm more of a bite her on the neck, drag her up a tree kind of man. I'm going after it. I mean, if there's something I like that I see, I'm going after it immediately. And if she's not feeling me, if she's got a boyfriend, she'll let me know.
Bill was an African leopard in his past life.
I'm a lion in this life. What are we talking about?
Lions don't drag their prey up a tree.
No, I know. Jaguars do.
And while we're on the topic of wildlife, don't feed bread to ducks. All right, we got to cover that. Anyway, yeah, I mean, the thing of it is that Leo, you were too excited about the situation. I think that you were a little bit over the top eager. And here's the problem. Like we said many, many times, this girl may or may not feel very highly about herself. So when you go putting her up on a pedestal and she looks in that mirror and says, geez, why is he putting me up on a pedestal? Boy, he really must be desperate. That is the thought that is going to go through a lot of girls' heads when they're, especially at a young age. So when you put her up on that pedestal, when you make that big fuss over everything, when you double text her, when you make it clear that you are way more eager to talk to her than she is to talk to you, when she feels that you like her more than she likes you, she knows that she leads that relationship. If there is a relationship, she knows she leads that interaction if there isn't. The only thing we do know is that you have not taken the lead. You have not put forth your, sexy masculine self. You haven't shown her that you are capable of leading and making her want to do the things that would fit your program. Now you're trying to fit hers. And the harder you try, the less likely you are to fit that mold. And even if you do fit that mold, how happy are you really going to be? It's not your program at that point.
Well, I definitely think that he's got some learning to do, but that's why he's got his uncles here. We can go ahead and give him the game.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't know, Johnny. I have a few. I'll tell you what. Some of this stuff we should be reaching out to these guys with some feedback privately. I have a few tips for him. I might give you a follow-up message to send back to him from me. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're both gonna have a little something to say on this one. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's all for our questions tonight, right, Johnny?
That's all I got, man. We got 4 good ones tonight. Guys, by the way, thank you so much for writing in. Don't make me have to go to blogs on the internet to find these questions. I'm so glad you guys are watching, getting engaged, and wanting to know what your uncles have to share with you because, listen, we have screwed up enough to not want our screw-ups to have happened in vain. So we appreciate you, logging in, tuning in, seeing us, asking questions, and hopefully applying our advice to your everyday lives. Now, remember, if you drink, don't drive. And if you drive, don't park because accidents cause people.
All right, Johnny. Well, I got a lot going on as usual. We're not going to be doing a Bumble dating show again this week. I know everybody gets a little disappointed when we don't have that for a while, but priorities as a man. I got something I'm working on. I got stuff I'm working on for my channel. So we'll be back next week with a Ask Your Favorite Uncles. And because I keep my word as a man, next week we'll also do a Bumble dating show. So
yeah, baby.
Thank everybody for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you for contributing. Thank you so much. And we'll see you in about a week.
All right, guys, remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. Good night.